So this is like it can be defined based on the organization's requirement. We cannot justify that. We cannot say that this is the correct architecture or this is the proper architecture that you should follow. No, it's not like that. It is created or it is constructed based on the organization's requirement. There may be a requirement, like they want to integrate SailPoint with AD for some purpose. And from AD, they are consuming few details to Okta. So, likewise, there are many different requirements from the organizations. Based on that, they will build this kind of architecture. So let's say, for example, whenever the user account is getting created in HR system, it will be pushed to AD. Let's take this scenario, this architecture scenario. The user account is getting created from HR system and it will be pushed to AD. There will be a manual push or there will be an automated push, which will be given with the help of some code. It can be a Java code, Java-based code, or it can be some net-based code or Python. Whatever it is, so there will not be a proper logging will be there. So there is a code running. That code may have proper logging or may not have proper logging mechanism. So say, the accounts are completely like. Let's say, for example, you are working for a banking project. You want to understand when the user account got created and when it is moved from one position to another position. And you want to verify when that account got deleted. Or you want to see when the user account's attribute got updated. Those things you cannot see in this architecture. Because there will not be a proper logging mechanism. For sure, if you build a Java code just for this push from a HSH system to Active Directory, there will not be a proper logging mechanism created for that kind of scenario, because logging is it's like vast data. You need to work on many things to get this logging data. That cannot be achieved in this scenario. But that can be achieved in Identity Manager, because Identity Manager is specifically created for managing the identity's access and also the logging mechanism. Even you can take 3 years of data when that account got created, when that attribute of first name got updated from this to this. So you can verify it completely in Identity Manager, but not in this architecture. So that is the difference. So if you are working for a banking project, for sure you need that kind of logging mechanism. But if you're working for some automobile industry project that doesn't require that much auditing flows or something like that, they are just following only, contributing only towards on the automotive parts and automobile industry thing. They will not concentrate on the logging part and security part. So if you want to make your application and your environment more secure, you want everything to be logged. So that is a major difference, the core difference we can take. So why I have shown you this type of architecture? So you cannot say like Okta can be integrated with Dairy, or Okta can only be integrated with SailPoint. Or you can say, Okta can only be integrated with HR systems. No, it cannot be restricted like that. And whatever the architecture, the diagram that we are going to show also in the next slide, that is also not a fixed one. But I'm going to show the architecture that is specific to the first type. Or you can take the type third and type 1. I'm just going to show you a little bit overview on that. I cannot show an architecture diagram for type 2 or type 4. That is not possible. It's like if you want to show each and every component. It may go like anything, so I will stop on that. So this is like you can take an example. So here you can see, Active Directory is there. Okta is there, Internet is there. And in the middle firewall is there, and this is your network. So this is just an overview. Here you can see, these are the applications available in your on-premise which you have hosted in your data center or maybe an Amazon web server, something like that inside your organization. These are the applications available in the Internet. Internet in the sense. Let's take an example Zoom. Zoom is a cloud-hosted application. Where it is hosted? It is hosted in Internet. Same thing for your mail, O365 mail. That is hosted in Azure Cloud, where you can access it from Internet also. But let's say, for example, you are hosting an application in your organization on the on-premise data center. You can access it. At the same time, you can restrict it. But this Internet right? Internet-hosted applications. You cannot restrict it. So how we are going to protect that application also? That is what the Okta will come into the picture and that we will see in the future. So I will tell you the scenario. This is the Active Directory available in our organization. Let's take an example. So in that Active Directory, some set of users will be managed. Those users need access to the Internet applications. Also they need on-premise applications, which means the application that is hosted inside your network, also the application that is hosted in the Internet. This set of users need both access. Your network application and also Internet applications also. You need both the access. So Okta will be there in the cloud. With the help of where this Active Directory will get in touch with Okta is with the help of AD agents. Agent is nothing but an external resource given by Okta, where we need to install in our firewall or it can be installed inside our network. What the AD agent will do is, AD agent will take care of syncing the data between Active Directory and Okta. And also whenever you are doing a login to any applications, Okta will be provisioning a path for you to perform authentication authorization. Because all these applications are integrated with Okta and Okta will provision, the Okta will take care of doing the authentication authorization. Where authentication authorization will be performed is it will be in Active Directory. I have already said, there will be no password information stored in Okta. No end-user password will be stored in Okta for Active Directory users. So this AD agent will take care of performing the authentication authorization from Okta to Active Directory. That's why this AD agent will sit in the middle and it will take care of that part. And also the sync part between Okta and Active Directory. And here you can see, this is nothing but a dashboard. Okta dashboard. So, with the help of this Okta dashboard, you can allow your local users, which means whoever is working from office or whoever is integrated with VPN, you can provision those users to access. You can allow those users to access Okta and different applications. Also Okta on-premise applications. The flow you can see. Local users can log into Okta dashboard. And from dashboard, they can able to access Internet applications. Also, they can able to access on-premise application. How the authentication and authorization will be completed? That will be with the help of AD agent. So whenever the user logs into dashboard, Okta will go and validate the user's password in Active Directory. You can see a link right here, the flow. So that will be taken care of. So AD agent will assist you to perform that authentication and authorization. Okay. And also you can allow your remote users. Remote users in the sense external users. You can. Let's take an example. You are working from home. You are accessing from your personal device. You are accessing from your laptop, personal laptop. You can provision few applications. You can restrict few applications. That is also possible in Okta. Okay. Based on the requirement, you can do it. Let's say, for example, as this is a COVID situation, many organizations have opened their applications to access it in the open internet also. Whenever you are working from office, you cannot access your systems or you cannot access any of the applications from outside network, outside your office network. Okay. If you come out of office, you don't have access to any of the office things. But right now, due to this COVID situation, application also have. Organization have also fine-tuned it and they have categorized the applications, which are the list of applications that you can access from your personal device also, which are the applications that you cannot access from your personal device also. So they have categorized and they have grant you access like that. So that's where this kind of architecture will be played a major role. That is also. You can see, the remote users can directly access Okta dashboard from any network. Okay. They don't need to connect to your office network. They can directly log in from Okta dashboard and they can access applications from anywhere. Okay. So this architecture represents this flow. So here we have Active Directory, how Active Directory is integrated with SSO systems and how the external users are accessing SSO systems, like which applications are integrated with it. Okay.